In the assignment of chess pawn, you can see that the model was such that it had some rectangular faces where they had sharp edges, maybe something like a book where you have this particular sharp edge, but there were certain faces where it was not so smooth, they were having some very smoother curves, right. If you apply the subdivision surface, probably you will get a edge, or the entire shape of the model will become smooth arbitrarily. It will not be able to consider which are the particular shapes you want sharper and which are the ones you do not want sharper. So let us see how we can handle that particular option. Let us have a look at something which is very basic and rudimentary model, which is pretty sharp at every place. There is no smoothing here except for the globe on the top, but even that has lots of faces. Let us see how we can use subdivision surface to make it look better. We will go to the spanner icon, add modifier, and we will go to subdivision surface. The moment we add that, you see that couple of things have changed. Nitin will zoom in and show us that exactly below the globe you can see that the particular rectangular disc has now got converted to a ovalish dish now. So this is not what we wanted. Now we can change the view option to 2 so that it will be ideal to what we discussed, and also make the render option to 3 that will render properly. You can also see that on the neck part of this thing you still have the faces. Here one more important tip, you can combine smooth and subdivision surface both to get the desired look. So let us press T and get the panel on, the tool shelf on, and go to shading and press smooth. The moment you press smooth, you can see that the faces have gone and you get a very smooth surface. You also should be able to see that currently the number of faces has changed drastically and it has become 18,000. Now if I press Z now, you would be able to see that these many faces have been created now, and that is why it is looking smooth. However, remember that unless and until you press the apply button on the subdivision surface panel, these are not going to get implemented, which means that your mesh will still remain the smaller size mesh which was there. Therefore, what we should do is never click on apply unless and until you are working on game engine. Now this is slightly a different subject, so we are not going into detail of that. Just remember, do not click on apply because that will increase the file size immensely. You can see here that the particular cylindrical layer which is just below the globe has a very sharp edge. It is a right angle disc, we can call it a disc. However, when we have applied subdivision surface, the particular model has become a very smooth model and there is no right angle existing right now. Even if I go to front, you can see that the edge of this particular chess pawn has become a very curved one instead of the right angle one which was modeled earlier, because we have applied subdivision surface. By the way, the short form for subdivision surface is called subsurf. So I will be using this very often now. Okay, because of subsurf, we see that there is no right angle existing. Now how to get that right angle? So the solution for that is to use a loop cut. Let us see how we can do that. We have these two discs, one at the top and one at the bottom. If we use these two circles and add the loop cuts nearer to that, then we can see that the effect is happening. We are in the front view right now where you can see that curve and we want it as flat as possible. So let us see how we can do that. We use the vertical lines which connect the two circles as the point where to add the loop cut. Go to the edit mode and press Ctrl R and hover on the vertical edge. You get the pink line. The moment you click there and now you take the particular loop cut slightly upwards, you see that now the shape of the particular smoothing is changing. Just leave it there by accepting the position, and let us take another loop cut now. You can see that the edge is slightly sharper now, but still the bottom edge is not as we wanted. So, we will add one more loop cut now. Press Ctrl R again and this time take it to the all the way to the bottom. Now you can see that even though this looks like a cylindrical disc, you have a very slight smoothing towards the edge. This is what we actually wanted, and therefore we can leave the loop cut here, and now we can just go to the 3D viewport to see how this particular disc is looking. So, this is how a typical chess pawn will have the edge. It will never have a very sharp edge, nor it will have a complete smoothed outline where it is not giving the exact shape what we wanted. This is just one small example. I am sure you can make your own ideas in applying it wherever you require, but remember, do not click the apply button on this subdivision surface or the subsurf what we call, because that will only increase the file size and you will have more problems if you are handling a particular complex model. Subsurf was one of the steps we thought would be useful in creating your models more realistic looking and more finished in every aspect. However, remember the combination of subsurf, smooth as well as the loop cuts to beautify them, because these tools are merely pointers towards getting the particular goal, but combination or probably creative combination of these tools will make the product more appealing, and that is where you need to think and design your strategy before you actually start modeling. So, my suggestion is, whenever you are going to create that model, please draw it on paper first and then try attempting that. When you are doing that drawing, keep in your mind various tools which you have learned, so that you know, okay, so I am going to extrude from here to there, I am going to scale it here, I am going to rotate this particular face so that I can get here. So, such application should be thought as a strategy before you actually begin Blender. So, that is my suggestion. I hope you agree to it, and actually you should try it once in order to see the effect of that. We are there to help you in case you need any help, and we would be looking forward to your submissions for the final project. So, till then we thank you all for this, and we have just one session left in which I am going to talk about the team which has helped me in making of this course, because without that I feel it is incomplete. So, thank you very much.